Alright, all you video gamers, welcome to yet another silver screen, mean green beatdown edition of the DJ Smokey's True Videogame Stories. And with a title like that, we decided to go with the video game none other than Streetfighter the Movie Arcade. And sadly enough, folks, and I know a couple of you true Street Fighter fans out there are wondering, after all these years I've been mentioning Street Fighter, why this game? Because this would be the first Street Fighter game I would ever own. Why'd you stop the music, Maestro? Seriously, it was the first Street Fighter game we ever owned. No, I'm not lying, it was the first one we ever owned. Well, with Maestro still in shock and the music now stopped, folks, I think it's time for us to go ahead, pick a fighter, and see what comes out of the silver screen onto the tiny screen in your house for a fight you will never forget as we get ready to paint the picture. Alright? This video game story began approximately 24 years ago when my dad decided to get me and my brother this game as a gift. And when we played this game, there was a litany list of different characters from the movie that we just seen when this game came out. And I was excited, first off, to pick none other than Jean-Claude Van Damme, who played the role of Guile in that film, and I said I called dibs on him. But my brother, on the other hand, would decide to go with none other than Blanka, which looked like the Incredible Hulk, and at the time I thought was Lou Ferrigno himself. And my brother, who had no fighting game experience whatsoever outside of Tekken, just immediately picked up this character like he's been playing this game for the entirety of his life. Because every time I tried to go for Jean-Claude's signature roundhouse kick or one of the fireballs that he would be able to throw, yeah, my brother would not only block it, he would roll toward me like a ball, scoop his hands up to try to slap me out of the sky, and even do the electro ball attack that Blanka was known for to take me out within 15 seconds of the whole game. And every single time he would win, they would have this little scream on the side that says, Blanka never loses. And I just said, really? He never loses? Alright, I'm gonna see if that's true. So I told my brother, you're not going anywhere, because he was about to leave to go play basketball, and I said, you ain't leaving here until I beat Blanka. So stay down here, I'm gonna beat Blanka. So I went through every single roster character I could think of at the time. I went through Zangief, I picked Vega, I picked Sagat, I picked everybody, in an effort to try to beat my brother, who seemed unbeatable with Blanka of all people. And needless to say, folks, when it came down to the last two characters of the game, not only I was getting mad, but at the same time was getting real disappointed in my fighting skills from a person who plays basketball all the time, beating me like he's been playing fighting games for all his life. So the two characters that was left on the screen in my last resort would be down to Cammy and VJ. And the first person I would use would be Cammy, because I had no idea who she was at the time, especially during the movie, even though she was one of the people who teamed up with Jean-Claude Van Damme in the film, but could not beat Blanka. Even though I was real close to beating him with the tornado kicks to the ground and a couple of combinational strikes that Cammy did have in the game, but my brother, who stayed in the corner and did that electro ball attack and scooped his hands like he was shoveling dirt, killed her too. So it was down to me as VJ and my brother still undefeated with Blanka. And little did I know, the character who played VJ would go on to be in not only Night of the Living Dead, but a whole bunch of movies and TV shows that I would watch in the future. But in this case, he would be the ultimate fighter that I would use to try to beat my brother, and the best fighter I used yet. because not only I would be able to do these high roundhouse kicks, which every single time he did one, he would go, Ije, Ije. Just kept kicking my brother in the head before he could do the spin ball technique or can do the electroshock technique. And I would just keep him in the corner, just kicking him over and over and over again, and would even do like a savate kick to him as well, where my brother would just lose one life and I would immediately start celebrating. Now, folks at home, and for those who've been listening into these video game stories for years on end, knows what happens next when I usually celebrate, because it happened. And for those who don't know, when I celebrated getting one win over my brother, going, yeah, I finally beat Blanca. Blanca never loses, huh? Blanca never loses, huh? And then when I went to take out the second life, my brother got out of that corner and leaped on top of me and just started beating the living daylights out of me. Then did the electroshock, ball roll, and then I went, ugh, right toward the ground and died. He got a perfect for 2 lives compared to the one that he lost. And then it popped up on the screen again, Blanca never loses. And my brother just pointed at the screen and said, just accept it. There it is. Blanca never loses. And just took its basketball, went outside, and never played the game again. And to this day, folks, I wanted a rematch against my brother just to beat him against Blanca, but since that very day, we lost the game, and I was never able to play him again. So yeah, we got some unfinished business. And I guess with that said, folks, wraps it up for another silver screen, mean green beatdown edition of the DJ Smokey's True Video Game Stories. And with that said, folks, we'll be back with more right after this. So stay tuned.